The game is rigged, and you're losing because you're still playing by rules that nobody else follows. You think fairness will protect you. You believe that doing the right thing guarantees the right outcome. You trust that good behavior will be rewarded. These beliefs are killing your potential. While you play fair, others play to win. While you follow the rules, they rewrite them. While you wait for your turn, they take what they want. Here's the truth that will shatter your comfortable illusions. Fairness is a lie sold to keep you compliant. The world doesn't reward the most ethical, it rewards the most strategic. The people at the top didn't get there by being nice. They got there by being ruthless when it mattered. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago. He watched fair players get destroyed. He saw ruthless strategists build empires. He learned that power doesn't go to those who deserve it. Power goes to those who take it. But before we go deeper, let me be absolutely clear. Ruthlessness isn't about being cruel or evil. It's about being strategic and uncompromising in pursuit of your goals. It's about refusing to handicap yourself with fairness when your competition isn't. It's about understanding that mercy has its place, but so does calculated aggression. Today you'll discover why playing fair is a guaranteed path to mediocrity and how strategic ruthlessness creates the outcomes you actually want. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose strategic ruthlessness over naive fairness. Before we continue, if this message is challenging everything you've been taught, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell. And tell me in the comments, has playing fair ever cost you something important? Has someone else's ruthlessness ever defeated your fairness? Share your story below. Now, let's unlock Machiavelli's darkest power lessons. Number 1. Fair players finish last. Every single time you choose fairness over effectiveness, you lose. Every moment you handicap yourself with rules others ignore, you fall further behind. Every situation where you play by the book while others play to win, you guarantee your own defeat. Machiavelli wrote, "A man who wishes to act entirely up to his professions of virtue soon meets with what destroys him among so much that is evil." What he meant is simple. In a world where most people operate ruthlessly, your commitment to fairness makes you prey, not principled. Your virtue becomes your vulnerability. Think about how this plays out in real situations. You're competing for a promotion. You focus on doing excellent work and assume merit will be rewarded. Your competitor focuses on politics, takes credit strategically, and undermines others subtly. Who gets promoted? The competitor, almost every time. Why? Because while you played the game fairly, they played it strategically. You're negotiating a deal. You present your honest position and expect reciprocal honesty. The other side presents a strategic position that conceals their true interests and limits. Who gets better terms? The strategic player. Your fairness was just information they used against you. You're building a business. You refuse to use aggressive tactics, believing that quality and fairness will win. Your competitor uses every aggressive tactic available, capturing market share and attention. Who survives? Usually the aggressive one, while the fair player slowly loses ground, wondering why good products don't guarantee success. The pattern is undeniable. Fair play is a unilateral disarmament in a world that's still armed. Let me tell you about two entrepreneurs in the same industry. Entrepreneur A believed in fairness. He paid employees generously even when competitors paid less. He refused to poach talent from competitors. He wouldn't spread negative information about competition even when true. He honored every agreement even when it hurt him. He thought this integrity would build his reputation and business. What happened? His higher costs made him less competitive. His competitors poached his best people while he refused to retaliate. His competitors spread negative information about him while he stayed silent. His rigid adherence to agreements was exploited. His business struggled while less ethical competitors thrived. Entrepreneur B understood strategic ruthlessness. He paid what was necessary to attract talent, not more. He actively recruited top performers from anywhere, including competitors. When competitors spread misinformation, he responded decisively. He honored agreements when it served him and found legal ways to exit when it didn't. What happened? His costs stayed competitive. He built a team of top performers. His reputation was protected by his willingness to fight back. His flexibility allowed him to adapt quickly. His business grew while more ethical competitors struggled. The difference wasn't that entrepreneur B was evil or entrepreneur A was stupid. The difference was that one understood reality while the other clung to comforting illusions about fairness. One played to win while the other played to feel virtuous. The psychological principle here is that fairness only works when it's reciprocal. When both parties commit to fairness, it creates stable cooperation. But when one party commits to fairness and the other doesn't, the fair player gets systematically exploited. The ruthless player takes advantage at every turn while the fair player keeps handicapping themselves. Here's how you stop being the fair player who finishes last. First, recognize that fairness is contextual, not universal. With people who reciprocate fairness, be fair. With people who exploit fairness, be strategic. Don't apply one approach universally. Adapt to reality, not ideology. Second, stop signaling your commitment to fairness. When you announce that you always play fair, you're telling strategic players exactly how to beat you. They know you won't use certain tactics, giving them advantages you've voluntarily surrendered. Third, develop ruthless tactics while maintaining ethical boundaries. There's a difference between being strategic and being criminal. You can be ruthless within legal and ethical bounds. Aggressive negotiation isn't illegal. Strategic information control isn't immoral. Competitive recruiting isn't unethical. Learn to operate at maximum effectiveness within appropriate limits. Fourth, stop expecting the world to reward your fairness. It won't. The universe doesn't care about your moral superiority. It responds to effectiveness, strategy, and power. When you release the expectation that fairness will be rewarded, you free yourself to operate strategically. Fifth, accept that playing ruthlessly might make some people uncomfortable. They'll call you aggressive, unprincipled, or cutthroat. These are often the same people who want you to stay handicapped so you're easier to compete against. Their discomfort is information, not instruction. When you stop playing fair and start playing to win, you stop being the person everyone beats and start being the person everyone fears to compete against. That shift is how you move from finishing last to finishing first. Number 2, mercy is weakness disguised as virtue. Every time you show mercy when ruthlessness is required, you create bigger problems later. Every moment you let violations slide, you invite more violations. Every situation where you forgive when you should eliminate, you guarantee the problem returns stronger. Machiavelli understood this completely. He wrote, "Men ought either to be well treated or crushed, because they can avenge themselves of lighter injuries, but of more serious ones they cannot." What he meant is that half measures create enemies. If you're going to oppose someone, oppose them completely. If you're going to show mercy, show it absolutely. The middle ground creates people who are injured enough to hate you, but powerful enough to harm you. Here's what misplaced mercy actually creates. An employee repeatedly underperforms despite warnings. You show mercy by giving another chance instead of firing them. They continue underperforming, now knowing there are no real consequences. Your team sees that poor performance is tolerated, lowering their standards. Your mercy has created a systemic problem worse than one person's failure. A competitor attacks you in the market. You have the ability to respond devastatingly but show mercy, hoping for peace. They interpret your mercy as weakness and attack harder. Your mercy has emboldened them and made the conflict worse. Someone violates your trust. You forgive them and give them another opportunity. They violate your trust again because your mercy taught them there are no real consequences. Your mercy has guaranteed repeated betrayal. The pattern is consistent. Mercy where ruthlessness is needed doesn't solve problems. It multiplies them. Let me tell you about 2 leaders facing the same challenge. Leader A believed in mercy and second chances. When team members failed, he'd give endless opportunities to improve. When competitors attacked, he'd respond minimally to keep things civil. When partners violated agreements, he'd renegotiate rather than enforce consequences. He thought this mercy would inspire loyalty and respect. What happened? His team had no accountability and performance declined. His competitors kept attacking because his responses were predictable and weak. His partners learned agreements were flexible and kept pushing boundaries. His mercy created an environment where nothing had real consequences. Leader B understood strategic ruthlessness. When team members failed after fair warning, he terminated them decisively. When competitors attacked, he responded with overwhelming force to make future attacks costly. When partners violated agreements, he enforced penalties so severe they never considered it again. What happened? His team performed at high levels because they knew failure had consequences. His competitors stopped attacking after experiencing devastating responses. His partners honored agreements because violation was too expensive. His ruthlessness created an environment with clear consequences and strong performance. The difference wasn't that Leader B was cruel or Leader A was kind. The difference was that one understood that mercy without boundaries is permission for abuse, while the other clung to the belief that endless forgiveness inspires improvement. One created accountability through consequences, while the other created chaos through permissiveness. The psychological principle here is that behavior that's tolerated becomes behavior that's repeated. When you show mercy to violations, you're teaching people that violations are acceptable. When you respond ruthlessly to violations, you're teaching people that violations are costly. Over time, ruthless responses reduce violations, while merciful responses increase them. Here's how you shift from weak mercy to strategic ruthlessness. First, establish clear boundaries and consequences in advance. People should know exactly what will happen if they cross certain lines. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. When consequences are known and consistent, they're actually more humane because people can make informed choices. Second, enforce consequences immediately and completely when boundaries are crossed. Don't give warnings for serious violations. Don't show leniency for repeated failures. When someone crosses a major line, respond with full force. This one decisive action prevents dozens of future violations. Third, stop confusing mercy with weakness. Real mercy is strategic. You show mercy when someone makes an honest mistake, acknowledges it, and works to correct it. You show ruthlessness when someone deliberately violates boundaries, shows no remorse, or repeats violations. Context determines response, not a blanket policy of endless forgiveness. Fourth, make examples when necessary. Sometimes you need to respond so decisively to one violation that everyone else learns the lesson. This seems harsh, but it's actually efficient. One ruthless example prevents countless violations because everyone understands consequences are real. Fifth, accept that being ruthless where mercy is expected will shock people. They'll accuse you of being harsh, unforgiving, or cold. These accusations come from people who benefited from your previous permissiveness. Their shock is evidence you're doing something different, not evidence you're doing something wrong. When you stop showing mercy where ruthlessness is needed, you stop being taken advantage of and start being respected. The short-term discomfort of ruthless action prevents the long-term pain of persistent problems. Number 3, honesty is a tactical choice, not a moral obligation. Every time you're honest when deception would serve you better, you're handicapping yourself for no reason. Every moment you reveal your true position, you give others information to use against you. Every situation where you're transparent about your limits, you invite exploitation. Machiavelli knew that truth and lies are tools, not values. He wrote, "Men are so simple and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived." The question isn't whether to be honest. The question is when honesty serves your purpose and when it doesn't. Here's what absolute honesty creates in strategic situations. You're negotiating. You honestly reveal your maximum price, your timeline urgency, and your lack of alternatives. The other side now has perfect information about your position. They'll push you to your maximum price, exploit your timeline pressure, and leverage your lack of alternatives. Your honesty has destroyed your negotiating power. You're competing for resources. You honestly explain your weaknesses, your concerns, and your uncertainties. Your competitors now know exactly where to attack you. They'll emphasize their strengths in your weak areas, project confidence in areas you're uncertain, and exploit your concerns. Your honesty has armed your competition against you. You're positioning yourself strategically. You honestly share your plans, your capabilities, and your resources. Others can now prepare counter strategies, copy your plans, or block your resources. Your honesty has eliminated your strategic advantage. The pattern is clear. Absolute honesty in competitive situations is strategic suicide. Let me tell you about two people negotiating job offers. Candidate A believed in complete honesty. When asked about other offers, she revealed she had none. When asked about salary expectations, she gave her honest number. When asked why she was leaving her current role, she explained all her frustrations. What happened? The company knew she was desperate, so they offered less than she wanted. They knew her frustrations, so they knew she'd accept lower compensation. Her honesty had minimized her value and destroyed her leverage. Candidate B understood strategic information management. When asked about other offers, he said he was exploring several opportunities without specifics. When asked about salary, he gave a range with the bottom being his actual target and the top being aspirational. When asked why he was leaving, he framed it positively as seeking new challenges. What happened? The company perceived him as valuable because other companies wanted him. They offered above his actual target to compete with fictitious alternatives. They saw him as ambitious rather than desperate. His strategic information management had maximized his value and leverage. The difference wasn't that candidate B lied about having offers. His language was carefully vague and could be interpreted as interest rather than offers. The difference was that one person treated honesty as an obligation, while the other treated it as a tool to be used strategically. One gave away all information freely, while the other controlled information for maximum advantage. The psychological principle here is information asymmetry creates power. When you know more than others, you have advantage. When others know more about you than you know about them, they have advantage. Absolute honesty creates information symmetry, or worse, gives others more information about you than you have about them. Here's how you shift from obligatory honesty to strategic information management. First, stop treating all questions as deserving honest answers. Just because someone asks doesn't mean you owe them truth. Evaluate each question based on whether an honest answer serves your interests. If it doesn't, deflect, reframe, or provide strategic ambiguity. Second, master the art of truth that misleads. You don't have to lie to avoid giving useful information. You can be technically truthful while being strategically vague. I'm considering multiple options is true if you're considering anything beyond their offer. My expectations are flexible based on the total package is true and reveals nothing useful. Third, create false alternatives to improve your position. If you're negotiating and have no alternatives, create the appearance of alternatives. Start exploring other options even if you prefer the current one. This isn't lying. It's creating reality that improves your position. Fourth, never reveal your bottom line, your true timeline, or your lack of alternatives. These three pieces of information destroy negotiating power. Guard them absolutely. Let others assume you have better options, more time, and higher requirements than you actually do. Fifth, recognize the difference between deception and discretion. You don't have to lie to avoid harmful honesty. You can simply decline to answer, redirect the conversation, or provide partial truth. This maintains ethical boundaries while protecting strategic interests. When you stop treating honesty as an obligation and start treating it as a tool, you stop giving away power and start maintaining strategic advantage. The ruthless player controls information. The fair player gives it away freely and wonders why they keep losing. Number 4, reputation is more important than reality. What people believe about you matters more than what's actually true about you. Every moment you focus on being good instead of appearing powerful, you lose. Every situation where you let others define your narrative, you surrender control. Every interaction where you fail to manage perception, you weaken your position. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." He understood that perception shapes reality and power dynamics. If people perceive you as weak, you become weak regardless of your actual strength. If people perceive you as dangerous, you become dangerous regardless of your actual capacity. The ruthless player manages perception aggressively. The fair player assumes good work speaks for itself. Here's what happens when you ignore reputation. You do excellent work but don't publicize it. Others who do mediocre work but promote aggressively get credit and opportunities. Your superior reality is invisible while their inferior reality is highly visible. Reputation beats substance. You're actually strong but avoid displays of strength. Others who are actually weak but display strength aggressively are feared and respected. Your hidden strength is useless while their performed strength is powerful. Perception beats reality. You have capabilities but stay humble. Others who have fewer capabilities but broadcast constantly are seen as experts. Your real expertise is unknown while their claimed expertise is believed. Appearance beats truth. The pattern is undeniable. Reputation divorced from reality still creates real power. Reality divorced from reputation creates no power. Let me tell you about two professionals with different approaches. Professional A focused entirely on being good at his work. He developed deep expertise, solved complex problems, and delivered exceptional results. But he never promoted his achievements, never sought visibility, and assumed merit would be recognized. What happened? His excellent work was barely noticed. Others took credit for his contributions. When opportunities arose, nobody thought of him because they didn't know what he'd accomplished. His superior reality created no reputation and therefore no power. Professional B focused heavily on reputation management. He ensured every achievement was visible, every success was communicated, and every capability was known. His actual work was solid but not exceptional. What happened? His good enough work was highly visible. He got credit even when others contributed. When opportunities arose, everyone thought of him because they knew his narrative. His managed reputation created power that exceeded his actual capabilities. The difference wasn't that Professional B was dishonest about his abilities. He just ensured they were known while Professional A assumed they'd be discovered. One controlled his narrative while the other ignored his narrative. One built power through reputation while the other built nothing despite capability. The psychological principle here is that humans make decisions based on available information, not complete information. If information about your capabilities isn't available, people assume you lack those capabilities. If you make information about your capabilities highly available, people assume you're more capable than you might be. Visibility creates perceived value regardless of actual value. Here's how you shift from ignoring reputation to building it ruthlessly. First, treat reputation as your primary asset. Your actual capabilities matter less than what people believe your capabilities are. Invest heavily in making sure the right people believe the right things about you. Second, control your narrative actively. Don't let others define you. Define yourself through strategic communication. Tell the story of who you are, what you've done, and what you can do before others tell different stories. Third, make your successes visible to relevant audiences. Every achievement should be known by people who matter. This isn't bragging, it's strategic communication. The person who achieves in silence might as well not achieve at all. Fourth, associate with respected people and institutions. Reputation is partly conferred by association. Being connected to powerful or respected entities transfers some of their reputation to you. Use association strategically. Fifth, respond ruthlessly to reputation attacks. When someone tries to damage your reputation, respond immediately and overwhelmingly. Your reputation is your power. Attacks on it are attacks on your power and must be countered decisively. When you stop focusing on being good and start focusing on appearing powerful, you stop being overlooked and start being feared and respected. That's how ruthless players win, while fair players wonder why merit isn't enough. Number 5. Strike first, strike hard, show no mercy. Every time you wait for others to attack before defending, you surrender first move advantage. Every moment you respond proportionally to threats, you invite escalation. Every situation where you show restraint with enemies, you give them time to strengthen. Machiavelli understood that defensive positioning is weak positioning. He wrote, "It is better to be impetuous than cautious, because fortune is a woman and it is necessary to hold her down and beat her and fight with her." Offensive action creates initiative and control. Defensive action surrenders both. Here's what happens when you wait to be attacked. A competitor is preparing to enter your market. You know they're coming, but wait to see what they do before responding. By the time they launch, They have momentum and position. Your delayed response is now defensive and reactive. You've surrendered the initiative. Someone is building a case against you politically or professionally. You know it's happening, but wait for them to make their move before countering. By the time they strike, narratives are established and alliances are formed. Your counter is now damage control, not offense. You've let them choose the battlefield. A threat is emerging to your position, resources, or relationships. You see it coming, but hesitate to act preemptively. By the time the threat materializes, it's stronger and you're weaker. Your response is now desperate rather than dominant. You've weighted yourself into weakness. The pattern is clear. Waiting to respond gives enemies time, position, and momentum. Striking first gives you all three. Let me tell you about two business leaders facing the same competitive threat. Leader A saw a competitor preparing to enter his market. He decided to wait and see what they'd do, believing preemptive action would be aggressive or wasteful. The competitor launched with heavy marketing, undercut prices, and captured significant market share quickly. Leader A then responded with his own marketing and price cuts. But he was now reacting to their playbook, fighting on their terms. His market share eroded significantly before stabilizing. His hesitation had cost him permanent ground. Leader B saw a similar competitive threat. He immediately launched preemptive strikes. Aggressive marketing highlighting his advantages before the competitor could establish positioning, locking in key customers with long-term contracts before they could be targeted, and even recruiting some of the competitor's planned key hires. When the competitor finally launched, they found the market already defended, key customers locked in, and talent harder to attract. Their entry was weak and they eventually withdrew. Leader B's preemptive ruthlessness had neutralized the threat before it materialized. The difference wasn't luck or resources. The difference was that one leader waited fairly for the competition to make their move while the other struck ruthlessly before the competition was ready. One played defense and lost ground. One played offense and maintained dominance. The psychological principle here is that initiative creates advantage. The attacker chooses timing, targets, and methods. The defender must respond to choices made by others. Over time, the attacker shapes the battlefield while the defender reacts to it. Consistent initiative accumulates into systematic advantage. Here's how you shift from reactive defense to preemptive offense. First, identify threats early while they're still weak. Don't wait for threats to become obvious. Develop the paranoia to see them forming. The earlier you identify a threat, the more options you have to neutralize it. Second, strike before the threat is ready. The moment you identify a serious threat, act immediately. Don't wait for them to strengthen, organize, or prepare. Hit them while they're vulnerable and unprepared. This isn't unfair, it's strategic. Third, strike with overwhelming force. Don't respond proportionally. When you commit to offensive action, use disproportionate force to eliminate the threat completely. Half measures leave wounded enemies who will retaliate. Complete measures eliminate problems permanently. Fourth, control the narrative about your preemptive strikes. Others will call you aggressive or paranoid. Frame your actions as necessary protection, strategic positioning, or competitive reality. Don't apologize for acting in your interests. Fifth, make your ruthless preemption visible enough to deter future threats. When others see that threatening you results in immediate, overwhelming response, they think twice before becoming threats. Your reputation for ruthless preemption becomes its own defense. When you stop waiting fairly for others to attack and start striking ruthlessly at emerging threats, you stop being reactive and start being dominant. That's how ruthless players eliminate problems before they become problems, while fair players fight uphill battles against established threats. You've just learned why playing fair guarantees failure and how strategic ruthlessness creates power. But this knowledge is worthless if you don't use it. Here's what you need to do right now. Look at your current situation honestly and ask, where am I playing fair while others play ruthlessly? Where am I showing mercy that's being exploited? Where am I being too honest and giving away advantage? Where am I ignoring reputation while others build theirs? Where am I waiting to be attacked instead of striking first? Identify your biggest vulnerability created by fairness, then make one ruthless move today. Stop giving someone a chance they've already wasted multiple times. Share information strategically instead of honestly in one situation. Take one action to build your reputation aggressively. Strike preemptively at one emerging threat. One ruthless action today starts your transformation from fair loser to strategic winner. But remember the crucial distinction. Ruthlessness within ethical and legal boundaries is strategic. Ruthlessness that violates laws or fundamental ethics is criminal. The goal is maximum effectiveness within appropriate limits, not unlimited evil. You can be ruthless in competition, negotiation, and positioning without being cruel to innocents or breaking laws. That balance is how you build sustainable power instead of temporary advantage that collapses under ethical or legal consequences. The world needs fewer people playing fair and losing. The world needs more people understanding that strategic ruthlessness is how you survive and thrive in competitive environments. That person can be you, but only if you stop handicapping yourself with fairness nobody else respects. Stop playing fair. Be ruthless. Win. If this video destroyed your comfortable illusions about fairness, hit that like button. If you want more brutal truth about power and strategy, subscribe and ring that notification bell. Drop a comment. What's one situation where playing fair cost you, and what would ruthless action have looked like? Your honesty might help someone else stop losing. Until next time, remember this. Fair players make excuses. Ruthless players make history. The choice is yours. Stop playing fair, be ruthless, dominate.